Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shoshanna Gross. I am the manager of major events with the Ohio Restaurant Association, and I'm here today with Todd Bowen. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Shoshanna. Good afternoon.
I don't try to do your title anymore since I messed it up the last time. Todd is the managing director of external and government affairs for the Ohio Restaurant Association. Yes.
Excellent.
All right, I got it. So we've been very busy in the government affairs side of things in the last couple of days, really the last few months, but especially busy this past week. And Todd has a couple of great updates for us. We wanted to start with the Paycheck Protection Program, or otherwise known as the PPP loan. So Todd, do you want to tell us the exciting news?
Absolutely. So thanks for having me again this afternoon, Shoshanna. So just within the hour, the House passed HR 7010, and that's titled the Paycheck Protection Flexibility Act, and that passed overwhelmingly. It was by a vote of 417 to 1. Wow. And this does make some significant changes to the Paycheck Protection Plan that will really be beneficial to restaurant owners and operators. And I'll just briefly touch on what those changes are and look for much more on this in our daily memo this evening. The four things that it does that will be very helpful. Number one, it takes the previous 8-week covered period and turns that now into a 24-week covered period to use the terms of your loan. So that change right there would have been very significant to restaurant owners and operators. It also changes the 75-25 split on what had to be spent on payroll expenses versus other operating expenses, and changes that to 60-40, which I think just much more closely mirrors what it will take for restaurateurs to get up and operating and get back up to full capacity. Number three, it does go back to allowing payroll tax deferments even to those who took the PPP loan. So that's very important as well. And then in terms of the loan forgiveness time frame for that is not forgiven, that still remains a 2-year term on previous PPP loans, but that'll go to 5 years for future PPP loans. But we feel very confident that with the changes to the forgiveness formula, hopefully that'll be much less of an issue because much more of your loan will be forgiven. So again, look for much more on that. And then that is only passed the House. So right. The next step is that it will go to the Senate. And we are going to be working very hard on the Senate side. And one way you can help is even now you can text FIX PPP to 52886, and that'll set up an action alert to go to Ohio senators. And we're working with state restaurant associations all over the country, and every state restaurant association will be doing this in regard to their senators. So nothing's done until it's done, but this is really very positive news, and it's the culmination of a lot of work that we did with our Ohio members of Congress, and every state restaurant association did with their members of Congress.
Yeah, so this has really been something where all of the state restaurant associations and the National Restaurant Association have been coming together to push for the interests of small restaurants and folks who really needed to see some changes to that loan in order to be able to use the money to their benefit, right?
Absolutely, and I'll add one thing on that. I know, Shoshanna, you just got scheduled a webinar for next week with Congressman Brad Winstrup from Cincinnati, who was really a leader with this with other Ohio members of Congress. So that'll be an opportunity to hear from him, kind of the process that went into this and kind of his thoughts as it heads into the Senate. So look for more details on that coming up in the next couple of days.
Great. And just to reiterate, if you are interested in seeing this pass the Senate, there is still work to be done. Please text, what is the number again?
Text FIX PPP to 52886.
52886 FIX PPP. So that is the only way that we actually see any of these changes actually be able to be implemented if we're able to pass it through the Senate as well. So that's at the federal level, but we don't stop there. We are still working at the state level with Bill 669. And Todd, you had the opportunity to testify today and yesterday in front of the House and the Senate at the Statehouse. Yes?
Absolutely. So
yeah.
As you can see, I've got my suit on today, and it wasn't just for the Daily Dose, although this certainly is worth dressing up for. I had to get up yesterday morning. All of my meetings recently have been Zoom meetings, but this was in person at the Statehouse, so I had to get up, dust off the suits, and put one on.
Get a haircut.
And get a haircut, absolutely. But we were at the Statehouse testifying on, there's actually 3 bills that all relate to some additional alcohol flexibility for restaurants and bars in Ohio. And yesterday I testified before the Senate Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee, and today before the House Commerce and Labor Committee. And the reason we're excited about these bills is that they would do some things related to outdoor seating. So for instance, I know a lot of cities are allowing you to expand your footprint and do some additional outdoor seating on sidewalks, maybe even into your parking lot. And the Ohio Liquor Control Commission has been great about granting some temporary allowances for you to serve alcohol there. But this would codify it, make it permanent, and give some certainty to that, which would be very welcome to restaurant owners and operators. And another thing that it does is the 2-drink carryout that's been allowed as an emergency by the Ohio Liquor Control Commission. It would codify and make that permanent. So again, these are in the early stages. These are committee hearings that are happening. But I was joined by a number of other folks in support of these. So look for more on that. And if we could make these permanent, it would help not just this summer with coronavirus, but we know folks have acted very responsibly in relation to additional alcohol footprints, and we think that they will, and that this is something that should be made permanent.
Fantastic. So we had a great turnout today for our hand sanitizer giveaway, and I heard we had a special guest come as well.
Absolutely. So today was our 4th hand sanitizer giveaway that we've done in conjunction with Jobs Ohio and the Ohio Liquor Control Commission. And they've certainly been wonderful ways for us both to provide a necessary resource in the hand sanitizer to our restaurateurs, but just a way for us to get to see them, say hello to them, touch base with them. And today, State Senator Stephanie Coonsey from the Hilliard Upper Arlington area joined us and was actually handing out sanitizer to everybody that showed up. So Stephanie, we appreciate you doing that today.
Yes, absolutely.
And then Shoshanna, I know we always like to end with a plug for the Restaurant Relief Fund. So I hear there's something exciting happening on Saturday.
Yeah, so our friends at Dayton.com are putting on a special live stream on Facebook concert. So Facebook Live, Dayton.com on May 30th. That's a Saturday at 8 p.m. It's called The Tip Jar. And it's a bunch of Dayton area and Dayton related bands who are gonna come on, give you a great show, fun live music, and all of the proceeds will be going to the Ohio Ohio Restaurants Relief Fund. So if you want to find a fun way to give back to Ohio restaurant employees, go online at 8 p.m. on Saturday, and you can donate through the tip jar.
Awesome. I'll be sure to check that out. I think it sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. With that, I think we are done for today, but we're looking forward to coming back tomorrow. We have some great information about the Ohio Restaurant Promise and a new toolkit that we're putting together. So we'll see you all then, and thanks for joining us.